As we mentioned before, the interviews are just one piece of the medicine application jigsaw. Putting this particular hurdle into the wider context, there's a lot of additional aspects that go into a medicine application, including excelling in your academic work, extracurricular activities, entrance exams, personal statement, work experience. One thing that unifies all of these aspects is the importance of hard work. It's essential for the entire medicine application. The whole process will require nothing less than all of your efforts. There's a reasonable amount of content that you need to learn for the interview preparation, and it's not a walk in the park learning at all. You need to be prepared to put the work in, and on top of that, you need to demonstrate your knowledgeability on the day. There's a very good quote from Atul Gawande, a surgeon in America who's got a lot of very good medical books, which reads, "There have now been many studies of elite performers, international violinists, chess grandmasters, professional ice skaters, mathematicians, and so forth. And the biggest difference researchers find between them and lesser performers is the cumulative amount of deliberate practice they've had. Indeed, the most important talent may be the talent for practice itself." This is something that comes up time and time again at performers in top levels. Hard work is one of, if not the most important determining factor for success. By mentioning this, we're no means advising that you become a monk and lock yourself away from your friends and family for the entire application process. Equally, in general terms, the more work you do, the better your application will be. Additionally, you need to be prepared to make sacrifices and have the self-discipline to put the hours in. There's likely going to be times when you won't want to work and you'd rather watch television, play video games, distract yourself with your phone. Going into the detail on specifically how you can cultivate a good work ethic is a little bit beyond the scope of this course. We're mentioning it just because it's such an important part of the whole process. However, there are a few good books that I would highly recommend if this is something that you feel you need to work on. If you don't feel that it's useful for you, feel free to skip to the next video. Deep Work by Cal Newport. So the author wrote this while they were doing their PhD at MIT at the time. They wrote that they never work in evenings and weekends, something that was very, very rare for someone in his field. The book focuses on how you can work more effectively in a shorter length of time. Grit by Angela Duckworth focuses on the importance of resilience and the ability to tolerate long stretches of hard work. It's similar to the Atul Gawande quote, but goes into a lot more detail. It's written by a MacArthur Genius Grant winner, and it looks at studies in psychology that attempt to measure students' grit and investigate how it affects academic performance. Atomic Habits by James Clear is how to build habits that last. It's less focused on how to work hard, it's more focused on how to rewire your brain so that you have a bit less friction when doing things that you know you should be doing, such as studying, exercising, learning a language, to the point where it feels as easy as brushing your teeth. Getting Things Done by David Allen is a very good book for how to organize things and how to make sure that you're getting through the things you need to do systematically. So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport is less of a book about how to work hard. It's more how to enjoy your career and how you should be focusing on becoming so good that they can't ignore you at whatever it is that you do. There's, again, a big focus in there on the importance of deliberate practice. So the key bits of information from the books that we just listed are, firstly, to keep track of the number of hours that you spend doing specific tasks, whether it's homework, UCAT revision, interview prep. Being aware of how much time you spend doing work on each topic makes you aware of any factors that increase or decrease it, and as soon as you measure it, you are then able to look at what you can do to improve that. You can download an app to track your time on your devices, such as Rescue Time, one that goes onto the computer. I like to simply record the hours that I do on particular tasks with a stopwatch and then put it into a spreadsheet or write it on a piece of paper. Make it as hard as possible to deviate from the task at hand. So some writers will use laptops that don't have an internet connection, and others will turn their phones off and put them in a cupboard whenever they're trying to really focus on something. So depending on whatever you find distracts you the most, make sure that you are reducing the access that it has to you and putting in barriers in place. Lastly, procrastination is an easy fault or an easy mindset to fall into, and it needs to be avoided. So you can think of the brain like 3 layers. You've got your reptilian layer that just keeps you going, keeps your breathing going. You've got your mammalian layer, which is very reward based. So it always is looking for the next hit of dopamine, whether it's with food or sleep or with notifications on your phone. And then you've got your neocortex layer, which is for rational thinking, higher level functioning. And that's the part of you that says, I know I need to be doing whatever it is that I should be doing, but I'm being distracted by this nice, easy thing. And it can be very easy to slip into that instant gratification. And there's a very good blog on the website Wait But Why, which we'll link in later on, that links into this. The second mammalian layer is the instant gratification monkey. You want to make it as difficult as possible for that instant gratification to override the higher level rational neocortex, which knows that you should be doing certain activities. So those are the two most important tips that we got from those books that I mentioned. So the reason we're including a video about the importance of hard work at the start is that it's the bedrock upon which your application is built. You know that if you go and do every question in the question bank for your BMAT or UCAT, that your score will improve. And equally, if you do every question that you can find, let's say the top 500 questions that can come up in the interview, and you go and do them 3-4 times each, and you practice it in different circumstances with different interviewers, you know that your interview technique is going to improve. So this is why we're stressing it, because the more work you put in, the more likely it is that the application will go well. Obviously, you've got to balance your applications with whatever else is going on, but the more effort that's put in at the start, the more likely it is that you will walk into the interview knowing that you've done absolutely everything that you can, and then you just go and do it.